It's now less than 6 weeks until Election Day. CNBC and Change Research States of Place survey gives us a snapshot of where things stand in the battleground states. And right now we're going to focus on how voters are looking at vaccines. Eamon Javers has the exclusive results. Hey, Eamon.
Yeah, hey, Joe, that's right. And something to watch for in this poll is that we're seeing the same decrease in people taking protective measures around the virus that we saw ahead of that June wave of virus attacks earlier this year. We're seeing an increase in people who are saying they're no longer sheltering at home, no longer avoiding bars and restaurants, no longer avoiding crowds, and no longer social distancing. All of that very similar to what we saw ahead of that June wave of viruses. So something to watch there. In fact, our pollsters tell us never before have fewer people been sheltering at home or avoiding restaurants and bars than they are in this survey since the start of the pandemic. So that is something to watch. But even as we see that, people abandoning some of those protective measures, 65% of voters continue to have serious concerns about COVID-19. That represents a real uptick. You can see it there in the graph in those serious concerns. The idea that things are getting better when it comes to COVID-19, that's still a minority position nationally at just 42%. So at the same time, look at this. Just 36% of battleground state voters now say they will definitely or probably get the COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available. That's down considerably since July. You see there, the number is declining most sharply among the Democrats, who are in blue, versus the Republicans in red. Still, Democrats at 47% will take the vaccine in much higher numbers than Republicans at 24%, but there's that sharp downtick among Democrats in their confidence in the vaccine. Meanwhile, as to the politics of all this, well, voters express concerns that President Trump is pushing to release COVID-19 vaccine too quickly in order to help his reelection chances. 57% of battleground voters are concerned about that, guys. So some concerning trends here in this poll in terms of people's willingness to participate in all the restrictions in life that have affected all of us since the beginning of this pandemic, and some people simply shrugging that off, even as concerns about the virus increase, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah. Any normal time you'd say, God, yeah, go, warp speed, let's do it. Sounded good, right, Eamon? But and then, in the past, we've had a lot of discussions about the FDA and the not dual mandate, not like the Fed, but to move as quickly as you can, but to be as safe as you can. And it's a constant interplay between those two things, even to the point where, in certain cases, compassionate use cases, you've heard it said, hey, just do it, go, even without doing the normal safety testing, but you can't. Yeah. You really can't, because you get one adverse effect where someone dies or something, and there's a reason you don't cut corners.
Look, this isn't specifically in the poll, but you do get the sense that the politicization of all of this, that whether it's the CDC or whether it's the vaccines or the statements from the White House, that's affecting the confidence of Americans in terms of whether they're going to be safe and whether or not it's going to be safe to take this vaccine. You see that sharp downtick in Democrats who say they're willing to take a vaccine. That is concerning, I would imagine, for medical professionals going into next year, where the vaccine is going to be the thing, if we get it, that pulls the U.S. out of this health and economic crisis. But if the politics get in the way and people simply aren't confident with what they're hearing from their leaders, that could pose a problem for getting us out of this mess in 2021.